Hey guys, so today we're just going to be doing a few CFOP 3x3 walkthrough solves, so let's just get straight into it. Alrighty, so let's get straight into our first walkthrough solve. I will just do the scramble here and put the scramble also up on the screen right now, just in case you're interested in following along. Alright, and there we go. So first we'll just start with locating our cross edges. I will be solving white cross, by the way. So I see this white cross edge, this edge, this edge, and this edge. And the first thing that I would notice is that this is already paired up, and you could just do a left move and get that in place. But before I do that, I'd make sure to connect these up. So I could just rotate this and then do a front two. So now I have two of my cross edges solved. And then I would see that I can just take this blue and connect it to its blue center and then solve that edge piece. And then I can just sort of insert this one into the back and repair it, so then all of our cross edges are solved. So the first F2L pair that I would probably see would be this one right here, which is the green and red, and its slot is back here. And so the first thing that I would do is get it out of its slot, and then I would see how I can pair them up, and I would see that these two colors are the same, so I can just hide the corner, bring the edge over so that when I bring it back up, they're paired, and our slot is back here, so then we can just do a back slot. And so then the next pair that I would probably see would be this corner right here and this edge, so in other words the red and blue pair. And what I would see is that I can just, since this red is opposite to this blue, I would take the edge up and then bring this over so that when I bring this side back down, they pair up. And since I already have this one solved right here, and these two are going to be the next to be solved, I would do a back slot insertion. So now we have these last two front pairs, and the next one that I would probably see would be this green and orange back here. And what I would do is first separate those, so go like this. So now our corner and our edge are separated, and this is nice because now we have a nice little insertion pair. And so we'll put that above where it needs to go and insert it into its slot. And then our last F2L pair is right here, this blue, orange, and white corner with this orange and blue edge. And since those two colors are the same, we can just pair them up and then insert them. And then we have our OLL algorithm, and then finally our PLL algorithm. And there's our first walkthrough solve. Alright, now on to the second walkthrough solve. Once again, I will put the scramble on the screen right now, so you can follow along if you want. Alrighty, so there's our scramble. So first we'll locate the white cross edges. We have one back here, one right here, one right here, and one right here. And the first thing that I'd realize is that this one can be easily connected, or you can bring it to here, and then when we do that left two, it will also connect that orange. And so we'll go ahead and do that. So connect, and then do that L2, and now this is connected back here, so do a back move to solve that cross piece. And then now we have our last two cross pieces here, and what I would probably do is just take this down like this, insert that cross edge, and then repair it. And then for this one, just insert and repair, just like the last one. So now our cross is solved. And the first F2L pair here that I would see would be this blue and red. And so since these are the same, we can just go ahead and pair those up. And then the slot is back here, so I would just do a back insertion. And then that just so happens to pair up our next F2L pair here, which is pretty convenient. So we'll just go ahead and insert that into its slot. And then the next thing that I would see here is these two right here, this orange and blue. And I would first separate them in a way where I can just have a nice little insertion pair. So we'll just use that insertion pair into the back. And then lastly, this green and red F2L pair. So we'll firstly separate, and then pair them up, and then just insert into the back. And then an OLL algorithm, and a PLL algorithm. And that is our second walkthrough solve. Alrighty, now on to our third walkthrough solve. Once again, I will put the scramble up on the screen in case you want to follow along. So we'll just go ahead and do that scramble here. Alrighty, so there's our scramble. And so we'll start by locating our edges. We have one here, 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 and here. And so the first thing that I would see is that nothing bad will be done if we just go ahead and rotate that blue and white edge into place. And then we can also go ahead and take this green and white edge and bring it up to insert. And then take this white and red edge and just do an L2. So now we have 3 of our cross edges solved. And then lastly, this orange and white we can just insert. And so now the first pair that I would probably see would be this one right here, along with its red and blue edge. And what we can do is position this edge, so when we bring this corner out and get it out of the way, it will form a nice little insertion pair, and then we can just go ahead and insert that into the back slot. And then the next pair that I would see would be this one right here, this orange and green. So we'll go ahead and take our corner out, and then position our corner so that when we take our edge out, we can form an insertion pair, and then go ahead and insert. And then this conveniently sets up our next pair. We have a nice little insertion pair with this red and green. And so then we can just insert that into the back slot. And then this one's also a nice one where we can just orient our corner so that we set up an insertion pair and then execute the insertion pair. And then we have an OLL algorithm and a PLL algorithm. And there is our third walkthrough solve. So hopefully you enjoyed this video and hopefully you learned something. If you did, a like and a subscribe would be very much appreciated. I'm sure you won't regret it. But other than that, I hope you have a great day and see you next time.